I'm Christy from coastalknitsandpearls.com. I am a Florida knitter who shares her knitting adventures through the Sunshine State. And today I am talking about 4 finished objects, 4 works in progress, and more that I did all this week. I am recording outside today because it is in the 60s here in Florida. It got down into the 40s last night, which is pretty cold for us. But the weather is nice right now. Sunny and cool, but not too unbearably cold. I did have a mole removed from my face, so I do have a little band-aid going on there to cover the stitches in my little boo-boo. But anyway, jumping right in, it is all Christmas knitting all the time now, pretty much. I have like one project that's not Christmas related, but I still have a lot of different projects on a lot of different needles, all going at once. This happened once I realized that I'm never going to finish all the gifts in time for Christmas if I don't knit several projects at the same time. And quite honestly, even simultaneous knitting is probably not going to save me, but it's okay. So let's talk a little bit about some finished objects for the week. First of all, I did finish the first sock for these are knee-high socks for my girls. This is for the youngest girl. I did complete one whole sock, and I did cast on the second, so I'll share that with you in the works in progress. But this is Emma's Practically Perfect Sock yarn. I bought it at Knit and Stitch Boutique and Coco, but you can get it in various places. This colorway is called Christmas Sprinkles. And I essentially knitted a vanilla sock pattern on my 9-inch circulars, which is pretty much how I knit all my socks. I did have to adjust, of course, for the length of the cuff, the length of the leg. The rest of it is the same, as I always do. So even when I knit their shorty socks, I can't remember how many rounds I did for the cuff now. For the cuff I did, hold on, let me pull up my project notes. For the cuff I ended up doing 16 rounds. So 16 rounds for the cuff. Essentially, I did a cuff that measured approximately 1 3/4 of an inch. This was just, I winged it basically. I just did it on preference. And then I measured from where my daughter wanted the cuff to sit all the way to the top of her ankle. So that brought me to an 80 round leg. So for her, it was 80 rounds of a leg. And then I did the heel, flap, turn, foot, and toe the same as I always do. So it worked out. I looked up a million knitting patterns for knee-high socks. They're not a lot for girls specifically. And then a lot of them were for women, but they had a calf decrease. And I was looking at my girls' legs, and honestly, like, they don't have a bigger calf or a smaller calf. They kind of have straight legs. So I think it fits perfectly fine. You may have to alter, somewhat here or there for your own knee-high socks, or if you're knitting knee-high socks for your girls or boys. But that worked for me, so I'm happy with how that turned out. You can find the details for this particular sock on my Ravelry project page. It's called, Christmas Sprinkles Knee-High Socks. Let's see. I've been knitting bookmarks. So I shared the 2 that I had already finished previously, and then I finished a third one for my youngest daughter. So this is a tapered bookmark. I am choosing not to add a tassel. It's just kind of like an arrow that will stick out of the top of the book. And this yarn is fingering weight, which pleases the colorway. It is from Hypnotic yarns, so it's from my Yarnable subscription. Purple is her favorite color, so I chose to do it in this. This has been blocked, but it has not been starched, so I will starch it before I give it to her. You can find the details for that on my Ravelry project page as well. So that's number 2. Project number 3 is this cup cozy for my sister-in-law. She loves to drink coffee and iced coffees and all that, so I thought this would be perfect for her. The pattern is on my project or my Ravelry project page, but it's essentially like a sock with 2 cuffs. So you have a cuff at the beginning and a cuff at the end, and then you're just kind of knitting a leg in between. But I did it on my 9-inch circulars, size 1s, just like I do a sock, using fingering weight yarn. This is Emma's Practically Perfect sock yarn in 80s Rewind, which I had left over from a pair of shorty socks that I knitted for myself. So yeah, it's great. I can't wait to give it to her. It's a Christmas gift for her. Let's see, so that's project 3. And the final project that I finished this week is my dish towel. Now this is a dish towel that I started right before summer sock camp. So the Crazy Sock Lady hosts a summer sock camp each year, and summer sock camp 2024, I cast on this waiting for summer sock camp to start, and I knitted 70 of the 78 rows, I think it calls for, or whatever. And I just stopped because I started getting distracted by socks. And I finally said, you know what, let me just do the last few rows of it and, get it off my needles and add it to my, finished objects and start using it. So I finally did that. You can find the details of this pattern, which is from Lily Knits, on my Ravelry project page. I did alter the pattern a smidge. She has it where it's kind of like almost like an athletic sock looking pattern where there's a white and a purple. I decided to just not to do any color changes basically, so I just did it in one color. This is Lily's Sugar and Cream 100% cotton yarn, and the color is hot green. So you can get this pretty much anywhere. Amazon, I think Michael's and Joann's both sell it. So yeah, Walmart I think even has some of the time. The color may be hard to find everywhere, but I definitely found it at, I believe, Michael's / Joann's / Amazon. So that's all of my finished objects for the week. So let's talk about the 4 works in progress that I have. So I have still working on my daughter's hurricane blanket. Uh-oh, it's a little tingly. So this is how far I've gotten with that. I'm 90 something rows into it. I do not have high hopes of finishing it before Christmas, even though it is in fact a Christmas gift. Sorry. But I have it on my needles, and then I have the hurricane yarn in river color for my middle daughter and orchid for my youngest. So I've written, it's from Hobbii. It is an acrylic yarn, but I have to say it feels a little bit like t-shirt yarn. So it's very soft and squishy. So I don't tend to knit with acrylic yarn very often, but I am happy with the quality of this yarn. So again, that's from Hobbii. It's Hurricane is the yarn, and then they have a bunch of different colorways. I have pink coral on my needles, and then I have river and orchid waiting to be knitted for the other 2 blankets. The other project I have going is a bookmark for my sister-in-law, and I have literally knitted 2 rows, and I'm on row 3 for this. This is in it's Seaglass or Beach Glass is the colorway, and it's a fingering weight sock yarn. The difference between that one and the ones that I knitted for the girls is I'm not going to do a tapered edge for hers. I'm going to do a square edge, so it will match the cast on basically for her. That's the only difference in that pattern. Same pattern. The pattern that I used had a tapered version or a square version, so that's the only difference there. I thought I had it. Oh yeah. The other project I have on my needles are these soap socks. So essentially it's just knitting a sock, but for your soap. So this is in the same yarn as the dish towel, so it's in the hot green color, 100% organic. I will Kitchener the bottom just like a toe, and then you just slide a bar of soap in there. Kind of winging this pattern, but there is some information on my Ravelry project page. I cast on, I think, 60 stitches, 30 stitches, I can't remember now. And then again, I'm just knitting in the round until I get to the bottom. This end will stay open and the bottom will be closed off to hold the bar of soap. Sometimes I will put a nice lemon scent bar in there, or some vanilla scent. For this, I'm just using a regular bar of soap to measure. Some of those soaps are smaller, some are bigger. So, you know, if you're giving it as a gift, you can use the actual bar of soap that you're going to actually slide in there. So the last one I have on my needles, so my last work in progress, is the second sock of my Christmas sprinkles knee-high socks for my youngest. So still on the cuff, kind of towards the end of the cuff, so it shouldn't be much longer before the cuff is done and I go right into that 80 round leg. So that's all I have on my needles and off my needles this week. Let's see. All right, what I am watching. So my husband and I together are watching Tracker Season 2. As those episodes come out, we watch them. Same with Fire Country Season 3. As the episodes come out, we're watching those. We have been watching Chicago Fire. I think we're in Season 4, but I'm not exactly sure. And I know there are 13 seasons on, I think it's Prime, to watch. So we still have a ways to go. And then on my own, I've been working through the latest season of The Diplomat and the latest season of Outer Banks. What I finished reading this week, or actually listening to, I did an audio book, was Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies. It's the first book in a series. Very cute, enjoyed it, highly stressed it. It's very, chick lit, fun. There is a murder too, but it's, it's not true crime-ish or anything like that, but it's cute. I recommend listening to it. It's kind of an easy read or listen. So I finished that one. I'm listening currently to a book called The Most Fun We Ever Had, which is about this family, and they have 4 daughters, I think. And it's about them. It's about this couple and their 3 daughters, and now the 3 daughters are grown. So it kind of goes back and forth between when they were little, when the girls were little, and now, you know, as adults. It's just about a family. It's really, really long. I want to say it's like 24 hours long, so I'm sure it's a really thick read. But it's pretty good, and I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm about halfway through that. Yeah, so where to find me? You can find me on Facebook at Christy Knits, on Instagram and Pinterest at Christy Co, here on YouTube at Florida Knits, and Threads and Ravelry, you can find me just using my name, Christy McCauley. And you can always email me at coastalknitsandpearls@gmail.com. I absolutely adore connecting with my fellow knitters and Floridians. I love to hear from you guys, so feel free to reach out to me with any questions or comments you have, or if you just want to share your latest project with me, I would love to see it. Next week is the day after Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday. I think I will record a video, but if not, I will record one the following week. And until then, happy knitting, happy Thanksgiving, and I will talk with you guys soon.